I am Dr. Dhananjay Kumar Tripathi, an assistant professor of physics under the Department of Basic Science and Humanities. Today we will discuss about the storage and display devices. Um, this is second lecture. In the first lecture we have discussed about the different types of storage devices like hard disk and magnetic tape. So today we will discuss about the cathode ray tube. This is a photograph of cathode ray tube in which you see this is cathode. This cathode is having two pins, and this one this one is focus anode. This and this one are the two accelerating anodes which accelerates the electrons which is ejected by the cathodes, and this one is called as deflection coils, which deflects the electron beam so that electron beam can fall over the phosphorescence screen. Now the schematic diagram of this cathode ray tube is this one, where you see these two pins are there, as you have seen here, that here these two pins are there. So these are the two pins, and a glass, in a glass the whole system is enclosed, and this is heater. Actually this is filament which is heated, so that is why it is called as heater, which is um, enclosed by cathode, and just in the vicinity of the cathode there is a grid. Then again, pre-accelerating anode and focusing anodes are there, and accelerating anode is also there. I will discuss during the discussion that pre-accelerating anode is put to a very high potential difference, nearly 1500, that is 1500 volt, whereas accelerating anode will be put at 500 voltage. Now this is a deflecting plate which used to deflect the electrons along the vertical direction, that is y shift, and these two are the horizontal deflection plates. They used to give the x shift. Horizontally they deflect the electron beam, and a coating, aquadag coating is there, which is coated over the screen. Okay, so this aqueduct coating is phosphorus screen or phosphorus coating. We used to call this as phosphor. So we'll discuss one by one that how it is made. You see, the electron gun. You have always heard about the term electron gun. The electron gun comprises of heater, cathode, grid, pre-accelerating anode, focusing anode, accelerating anode. So these all makes the electron gun. So this is one of the major part of the CRT. Okay, then another part of this CRT is base, on which the whole apparatus is mounted. So this is another part. So that is why I have enlisted all the different parts: electron gun assembly, deflection plate assembly. Deflection plate assembly, why it is called as assembly? Because two types of deflection plates are there: vertical deflection plate and other is horizontal deflection plate. So deflection plate assembly, fluorescent screen. Okay, here the screen is fluorescent or phosphorescent. Both are different things, but the screen is having both these qualities. So that is why we call this screen, the material as phosphor. So fluorescent screen, glass envelope, the whole thing is kept inside a glass envelope at the base. So these are the different parts of the CRT. Now let us discuss one by one. At first, electron gun assembly. I told you earlier that electron gun assembly is having heater, cathode, grid, pre-accelerating anode, focusing anode, accelerating anode. So these all makes the um, electron gun assembly. The electrons are emitted from the highlight. Let us try to understand what happens actually. When this filament is heated to a very high temperature, then electrons are ejected from the filament. Then grid used to control the inflow of the electrons. Then pre-accelerating anode, when the electrons are emitted, they are moving with very low speed. So just to accelerate them, pre-accelerating anodes are there which used to accelerate them. That is why they are kept to 1500 volt. Then the electrons which are going to the different sides of the trying to go to the different sides of the glass tube, they are focused along the radial direction of the tube by focusing anode. Then again, accelerating anode is there which used to accelerate the electrons which are somehow make their path curved in both of these directions. So accelerating anode used to accelerate them. Then they are going, and at the work of vertical deflection plate used to occur. What happens actually, you see that electrostatic deflection plates are there. Electrostatic deflection means these are electrons. So we'll have to deflect them by giving the positive potential. So we used to apply the positive potentials to these vertical deflection plate or horizontal deflection plate. And as per our wish, we used to put the spot either on the, we can change the spot either on the x direction or y direction. That means horizontal direction or vertical direction. That is written here, that the electron passes through a small control grid. The control grid regulates the brightness of the spot on the screen. This control grid is made up of nickel material, which is centrally located hole, which is coaxial with the CRT axis. So I have discussed all these. Now the beam is focused to the focusing anode. This is very, very important thing which I discussed. Then the pre-accelerating and accelerating anode are connected to the positive high voltage. I just told you of about 1500 volt and 500 volt. So that is why the electrostatic focusing is done. Now electrostatic deflection plates. So deflection plates are vertical and horizontal deflection plates. The deflection plate produces the uniform electrostatic field only in the one direction, either in the x direction or in the y direction. It depends on us that in which direction we want to deflect the beam so that spot can be seen. Now, screen for CRT. This is very, very important thing. You see, this is the screen for the CRT. So what is done there, just I told you earlier, but I have written it again for your understanding, that front of the CRT is called the face plate. That is called as face plate. The internal surface of the face plate is coated with the phosphorus. The phosphorus converts the electrical energy into light energy. The energy level of the phosphorus crystal rises when the electron beams strike on it. This phenomenon is called as cathodoluminescence. Cathodoluminescence is what? When the electron beam is falling over this screen, then the optical or visual sensation is there. This visual effect is called as cathodoluminescence. Luminescence means something is displayed in front of us. So cathodoluminescence, this is very, very important term. The light which is emitted through phosphorus excitation is called as fluorescence. When the electron beam stop, the phosphorus crystal regain their original position. This is very important thing what to be noted down, that after the emission of the when the light is passing through the phosphorus and it is passed, after that the phosphorus crystal regain its original position. So original position and release a quantum of light, that is h nu, which is called as phosphorescence. Phosphorescence, you have heard about the fluorescence and phosphorescence. So fluorescence means when the light is allowed to fall over any crystal or any body which is responding to the light, then it glows. But if The light source is cut off, then the crystal or the glass will not give light. But if it gives light after the cutting of the source, then this is called as phosphorescence. Okay, that means that the phenomenon is persisting without the source. Now, aquadag, this is very important thing. I told you that a layer of aquadag, that is aqueous solution of graphite, is connected to the secondary of the anode. So aquadag collects the secondary emitted electrons which are necessary for keeping CRT screen in the state of electrical equilibrium. You see, aquadag layer is there. So this layer used to collect the secondary electrons. That means those electrons which are anyhow deflected. So it collects them. Okay, and major portion of the aquadag is there, which in which visual effect is seen. So advantages of CRT, very important thing is about that it is less expensive than any other display technologies, operate at any resolution, geometry and aspect ratio without decreasing the image quality. The image quality is not decreased. In spite of that, it can operate at any resolution and at any aspect ratio, produces the best color and grayscale for all professional calibrations. This is also very important thing. Excellent viewing angle it has, good brightness, and gives long life surfaces for the CRT. Features of CRT. Some very important features of CRT. The use of CRT technology has quickly declined since the introduction of LCDs. LCDs was developed in 1960s. In July 1964, first LCD was, the prototype of first LCD was shown. So commercially it is available after in the late 60s. So from that, the you can say that popularity of CRT decreases. CRT monitors are widely used in several electrical devices such as computer screens, television sets, radar screens, oscilloscope. We are using the oscilloscopes in the physics lab as well as in the electronics lab. So for the medical purpose also and scientific purpose also it is used. Now next is plasma display. So plasma display is a video display in which each pixel on the screen is illuminated by a teeny bit of plasma or charged gas. We have the concept of plasma. Plasma is what? A collection of large number of ionized particles. Ionized means what are ions? Electrically charged atoms are called as ions. So plasma is a collection of large number of charged ions. So somewhat like a teeny neon light. Plasma displays are thinner than cathode ray tube displays. Probably all of you have seen the plasma TV or plasma screen. So, and brighter than the LCDs. These are thin panel displays and they can be put on the wall also. In 1964, the first prototype of plasma display monitor was invented, as I told you, by Professor Gene Slotov and Professor Donald Bleacher at the University of Illinois. This prototype had a monochrome display. That means single color, neon orange was there, but it was not commercially viable because people were searching about the colored display. So in 1983, IBM released another neon orange monochrome plasma display that was 48 centimeter in length. But the first full color plasma display came out in 1992. This is very important thing. That first colored plasma display came in 1992 and which was brought in the market by Fujitsu, and its measurement was 53 centimeter. It was brighter than other displays. In 1997, Fujitsu again released 107 centimeter plasma display with resolution of 852 by 480 pixels. This is very important thing, that resolution was very high at that time. Now the construction of plasma display. You see, these are having the three layers. So any plasma display is having three layers. Okay. So the innermost layer, this layer consists of a series of three cells compartments, which make up a single pixel. Each cell contains, out of these three cells, each cell contains, you see here it is written display electrodes. So now each cell contains a mixture of noble gases, usually neon, with 10 to 15% helium, no, xenon, not helium, xenon, and is responsible for producing one of the three primary colors. Coloring effect will be seen only when we will use the neon and xenon gases. These two are the noble gases. So primary colors, there are three primary colors. We know that red, blue or green, they will be uh, produced due to the mixture of noble gases of neon and xenon. Outside of these cells is the layer of dielectric material. Okay, you see, this is the dielectric material. So dielectric material and electrodes that provides uh, the energy to each of the three cell chambers. The dielectric layer allows for more charge to gather between the electrodes and the cells. On the projection side of the display, the electrodes are vertical and transparent. These electrons are known as transparent electrodes. So this is dielectric layer. This is address electrode. You see, this one is a pixel. This one, this dark black color, this is the pixel. Okay, and this is phosphor coating of plasma cells. Phosphor means phosphorus is there, so that we can have the visual sensation, otherwise there will not be sensation. Okay, so and outer side is made up of glass. You see, this is glass, and this one is also last, outer side is glass. Now the working of plasma display is similar to the working of fluorescent light bulb. How the fluorescent light bulb works: when the electrical energy is supplied to it, then the display occurs. So same thing will be here used. Gas is used to excite phosphorus, which produce visible light. In plasma display, a voltage is given to the gas within the cell. What gases are there? These are the neon and xenon gases. They are given a potential difference. So when potential difference will be given to the gas within the cells, then the gas becomes ionized. And when they becomes ionized, means plasma will be formed, because plasma is what? The collection of charged particles. So plasma will be formed. Now, if plasma will be formed, then plasma itself does not provide the light energy itself, rather it produces the ultraviolet light. So visible radiation will not be produced. Ultraviolet light will be produced because of this plasma, which excites the phosphors we call them. So this will excite this phosphors, and because of that, visual display will be seen on the glass. This is the working. Now, advantages of plasma display. The slimmest of all displays till now available. This is the most slimmest, you can say that display. Very high contrast ratio, 1 is to 20 lakhs. 1 is to 20 lakhs, and resolution. Weighs less and less bulky than CRTs. Can be placed even on walls, I told you earlier. High clarity and hence better color reproduction. Has a lifespan of about 1 lakh hours. So this is also very important thing that is to be kept in mind, that resolution is very high, clarity is very high, color is better than CRTs, and lifespan is 1 lakh hours. So this is very important thing, and that is why the plasma display is still now used, because of its slimmest. quality. Disadvantage of plasma display: cost is much higher than other displays, energy consumption is more, produces glares due to reflection. This is odd thing about this display. These displays are not viable in the smaller size. That means below 32 inch, it is not available. Plasma display degenerate large amount of feet. This is also very bad thing about it. So now I acknowledge all these resources from which I have prepared the lecture or video lecture. Rather than that, I consulted some books. So you are advised to go through all these references. These are very good references, and I cannot add the video, some videos, so you can see the videos, because videos have the copyright, so I cannot add it. So you go to the references, and there are videos there, you can see them to understand it in better sense. So thank you.